Hello, this is Javier, and I want to welcome you to another class on demand. This class is intended to teach you how to recruit referring realtors. Now, this is a concept that can help you generate a steady stream of loans and also income, and above all, success for you as well as for the realtors that you work with. Again, my name is Javier Rodriguez, and I'm Director of Sales and Marketing here at Realtor Mortgage Bank, and it's an honor to teach you this class here today so that you can go ahead and once again accelerate your overall success as an MLO. Now, question for you. What is the number one skill that all MLOs must possess in order to succeed long term? And this is important because we don't want you to just cash flow every other month, every third month, or anything like that. We want you to be able to cash flow every single month. As a matter of fact, twice a month. We pay on the 1st and the 16th of every month. So you have to learn the number one skill that all MLOs must possess in order to, again, succeed long term. And that is the ability to generate a steady stream of qualified leads. If you cannot generate a steady stream of qualified leads, you're going to be dead in the water in just a matter of time, because we want to make sure you understand how important it is to keep your pipeline full. So therefore, in order for something to be coming out the end all the time, you have to be submitting new leads in the front end of your pipeline every single month. In other words, MLOs must develop marketing and lead generating campaigns, or better yet, what I call regimens. Now, the dictionary defines a regimen as a regular course of action, and especially of strenuous training, the daily regimen of athletes. But that's an example of something that means you have to do it every day, whether it's easy, whether it's hard, and usually the harder the better, because that means you're dealing with more higher grade things, and so you're going to have to develop a regimen that's going to generate a steady stream of leads that will keep you going long term. Now, here's just a couple of the examples that we have as far as campaigns are concerned. We have the church campaign that we run very successfully here. We have the Baker to Vegas / police officer campaign, and we run this with police departments all over Southern California. And of course, the number one thing we do that keeps us busy and keeps giving us leads are the teachers, working with school districts and so on. And so that's a campaign. That means you have to master it, you have to study it, and you have to go out there and implement what you learn so you can generate the results that others are already experiencing as well. Now, we want to go ahead and make sure that you understand the difference between low grade and high grade regimens. Low grade, just like gasoline, is okay, but high grade is where you want to be at. Low grade would be an example of you passing out 10 flyers a week, let's just say, where that's just not going to cut it. Long term, it's not going to help you, because if you're doing something like handing out flyers, you better be doing a lot of them, like thousands and thousands a week, in order for it to really give you what you're looking for. The law of averages is not profitable by itself. The only way that the law of averages is ever profitable is by making sure that you apply the law of high numbers to it, and then it can be profitable at that time. Now, developing referring real estate agents is a great way for you to generate unlimited referrals, because now if you generate yourself a pool of 10, 20, 30 referring realtors, and they each give you a piece of business once every couple of months, you're going to have high quality leads coming in every single week. And so that's what you have to make sure. This is very high grade, and so therefore you have to master it. Now, what value can you bring to a realtor as a loan officer? Most loan officers would say, well, the value that I bring is good service, maybe answer all the calls that I get or return emails promptly and so on. And that's expected. I mean, that just comes with being in business that you better be doing. But the value that you really want to bring to the table is something that they will appreciate. In this case, one of the things you can do as a loan officer for Realtor Mortgage Bank is that you can help realtors close more deals. So if you were to ask a pool of 50 realtors, how many of you here would like to learn how to close more deals? Every single hand would go up. So understand right out of the gate that what you bring to realtors is very high value. This is something that they're going to appreciate. This is something that they need. And most importantly, that if you deliver, they're going to be working with you for a very, very long time. Now, keep in mind that when somebody buys a home, the buyer must bring to the table the following three things. Number one, they have to bring a down payment, which is kind of the given. And it's 3.5% if it's FHA. The second thing they have to bring, which most realtors and most buyers don't know, are the closing costs. They cannot be rolled into the loan when it's a purchase. Yes, we can roll it into the new loan if it's a refi, but not with the purchase. So they have to bring closing costs. 1 to 2% of the sales price is usually what the closing costs run for a typical deal. And the third thing they have to bring to the table are the prepaids. Now, the prepaids, we're talking about taxes, insurance, and the escrow account that basically has to be set up in the buyer's name to start paying the property taxes, insurance, and so on a regular basis. Again, most know of number one. Most people don't know of number two and number three, which could break the deal, because if somebody's saving up for a home, they save 3.5%, but they don't have the other 2 to 3 points that they're going to need in the form of closing costs or prepaids. It can derail the deal, and every realtor has had cases that got derailed for that very same reason. So, one of the things that we also do is we go around educating realtors at real estate office during their sales meeting. Now, this is important because most, not all, but most real estate offices hold regular, usually weekly, training sessions for their agents. The objective for these events, of course, is to help the realtors close more deals. And so brokers or sales managers, trainers, and so on, they're always looking to give their agents the edge, if you would, to make sure that they can go out there and be the best they can be that given week. Now, we can provide that. That means you can provide training on, let's just say, FHA. Most real estate agents have not had a formal class on FHA loans ever. And so by you offering to bring this to a sales meeting, it's going to be very welcome. Also, provide training on VA loans, especially here in Southern California, where we have such a high concentration of active and especially separated military personnel, meaning veterans, that qualify for VA loans all day long. Most real estate agents and realtors and brokers have never had formal training, so you can do that. Also, teach them on reverse mortgages, how they work, how to leverage the power of reverse mortgages to have more listings, and at the same time, work with more buyers by understanding the power of reverse mortgages. And of course, there's other things we can do, such as third-party trainings. And the third-party trainings revolve around things like a probate attorney. We have access to probably the number one probate attorney in Southern California. And if you gather up X number of realtors at a during a training session, he will come out and conduct training for them at no cost to you, which is simply incredible. And there's a whole lot more other things you can do. Now, it's very important for you to build a network of referring realtors, and there's many ways to do that. The rule of thumb is always lead by giving. Let me give you a free training session on probate. Let me give you a free training session on reverse mortgages, on the VA, on the FHA, and so on. So if you lead with giving, you will always receive more. Otherwise, if you lead by asking and expecting immediately something for you before you give something to them, you're not going to make it. Now, one of the things that I would recommend to start by the numbers here is to put together a list of at least 50 prospects in your area. And by prospects, I'm talking about real estate agents. Now, how do you obtain that? Well, go to Zillow, Redfin, or go to Realtor.com or the MLS, or swing by the board, if you would, your local board in your area, or whatever area you want to develop your actual referring realtors in, or simply go to Google.com and type in realtors in and whatever city you want to work. Now, number 2 is to contact each prospect without taking a break until you call every realtor on your list. Be sure to follow the script when speaking with each realtor, and do not speak to any one realtor for more than 2 minutes, period. And so what we're talking about is you put down together your list of the realtors that you're going to be contacting. My recommendation is to make sure you have at least 30 you're going to call every Monday. Mondays are the best days to do this, usually between 10 and 11 a.m., which is dial away. It might take you an hour, it might take you an hour and a half, but you'll find that the more you call, the better you'll become at it, the more natural you will sound, and eventually, by the time you do this the second week or the second day, you're going to be a lot more successful, even though you will not need luck on your side, because what you bring to the table means a lot. Now, the 2 important rules, or the most important rules to follow, include: do not quit until you have formed your own network of referring agents, because if you follow this rule, before you know it, you will have a network of, let's just say you generate just 2 to 4 a week. And if you're doing this every Monday, obviously by the time the first month is over, you'll have 16 real estate agents on your network. Now, if you do this for just 2 months, that's 32 realtors, and that's more than enough that you'll need to be successful for the remainder of the year. Now, this is part of a script that we have, and I hope you're writing some of this stuff down, because it's easier when you just simply write it with your own hand. And while it is a script, it's intended to serve more as an outline so that you don't sound like a telemarketer. And it's very simple. The WFA you see on your screen stands for wait for answer. So that means that whenever you say something and then it says WFA, wait till they answer. So it goes something like this. If I'm calling, let's just say Joe, who's a realtor in the Downey, California area, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and dial him. Now, the nice thing about dialing realtors is that they're conditioned to be nice to whoever calls them, because it might be a client, might be a listing, might be a buyer, and so you'll never have to worry about them being mean, if you would. And again, it just starts something like this. You're going to ring, and as soon as they answer, they're going to say something like hello, and then you just simply come back at them with a hello, is this Joe? Always use their first name. never use their last name. The only people that use first and last name are bill collectors and such. So if you throw in their first and last name, they're going to ask you, well, who's this? They're skeptical. Their guard goes up. You don't want to do that. Just simply sound very natural. Hey, hello, is this Joe? And again, you're going to wait for an answer. And of course, they're going to say yes. And I'm just going to say something like, hey, Joe, my name is Javier Rodriguez with Radiant Mortgage Bank, a direct lender here in the Cerritos area. How are you doing today? Wait for the answer. Great. I'm calling you today to introduce myself in the event that I can one day be of service to you. Now, one of the things that sets us apart as a lender is that we can help your clients by paying some, most, or in some cases, even all of their closing costs, making it that much easier for them to get into a new home and for you to get paid on more deals. Now, Joe, I would like to send you my contact information with your permission, of course, in case you come across any clients that need help with closing costs. Would you prefer me to contact you via text or email? And wait for an answer. Most of the time, they'll say text because you already have their cell phone number. But if they end up saying something like, well, email it to me, that's even better because now you have their email address and you can add them to your list of realtors. You just simply thank them for their time and send them the info, schedule an in-person meeting within a week. And the way you do that is perfect. Okay, I just want to confirm your email address is joe@yahoo.com. Yep, that's it. Perfect. Okay, well, Joe, I'll go ahead and get you all my contact information, and maybe next week we can hook up for a cup of coffee. I can buy you a cup of coffee and give you an information packet that contains all the programs that we work with to better serve your clients. Fair enough? Okay, that's fair enough. And that's it. So by Thursday of that week, I'll be calling up Joe, saying, hey, Joe, I'm going to be in the Downey area on Monday. I wanted to see if we can meet at Starbucks so I can buy you that cup of coffee I promised you, give you the information that I told you I was going to give you, and we can kind of just take it from there. And that's it. Very simple, to the point, and that's all you're going to be doing. Now, the thing that they're going to want to know is how on earth can you pay for some of the closing costs? And the answer is going to be quite simple. What we do is we take part of our commission and apply it towards the closing costs to make the transaction possible. And like I told you earlier, Joe, that way more people will get into homes and you will get paid on more deals that you close. Keep it simple. Always keep them the main thing. It'll never be you. Always keep helping them close more deals the main thing, and you will do just fine. Now, again, if you need to copy down any aspect of the actual script, just hit replay or just simply rewind, if you would, this video. I want to go ahead and thank you for taking the time at this point to really take to heart how simple it can be for you to build yourself a network of referring agents, but this is only as good as what you do with it. So do yourself a favor, apply this immediately, and make sure that you do your part to make sure that success arrives at your door sooner rather than later. Good luck. Thank you.